The result of the sprint planning is a sprint backlog. The sprint backlog is composed of the sprint goal, the set of product backlog items selected for the sprint, and an actionable plan for implementing selected product backlog items and delivering the increment. These elements answer the questions why, what, and how, respectively. The sprint backlog is a plan for the developers. It is a highly visible, remember, transparency is king, real-time picture of the work that the developers plan to accomplish during the sprint in order to achieve the sprint goal. The sprint backlog should have enough detail for developers to inspect their progress toward the sprint goal in the daily Scrum. Can the developers change the sprint backlog? Well, it is created by the whole Scrum team. Therefore, there are parts of the sprint backlog that can be changed solely by the developers, but some parts cannot be. Let's consider them through the list from bottom to top. Number 3. The actionable plan for implementing selected product backlog items by the developers can be changed. They are allowed to adopt this part as necessary, anytime, and update it throughout the sprint as more is learned, adjusting the upcoming planned work. They may decide to meet throughout the day for more detailed discussion about adapting or replanning the rest of the sprint's work. The set of product backlog items selected for the sprint. It may be collaboratively clarified and renegotiated with the product owner. The sprint goal is a commitment by the developers. Nevertheless, it provides flexibility in terms of the exact work needed to achieve it. As the developers work during the sprint, they keep the sprint goal in mind. If the work turns out to be different than they expected, they negotiate with the product owner the scope of the sprint backlog within the sprint, without affecting the sprint goal. No changes are made that would endanger the sprint goal. The progress toward the sprint goal must be inspected frequently and diligently to detect potentially undesirable variances or problems, at least once a day during the daily Scrum. Sometimes the sprint goal becomes obsolete. In this case, the sprint could be cancelled. Only the product owner has the authority to cancel the sprint. However, this rarely happens, and in this case, it's necessary to analyze why it happened. This discussion takes place at the sprint retrospective events. Since we are talking about changes here, it is important to emphasize one thing. The scope can be clarified and updated within the guidelines mentioned above, but the quality cannot decrease. The entire Scrum team is accountable for, and developers are committed to, creating each and every sprint a usable increment that meets the definition of done, a description of the quality measures required for the product increment.